I'm always looking for hidden gems, especially in animation, and while I may look for new and terrific pieces of animated film, it is television that interests me most in this regard. Great animated features are always around, but greatness in television is more desired myself. There are cartoon hangover shorts, pilots for Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney, and the newer shows I can catch up on and deem wonderful. Yet I also enjoy the trove of forgotten gems, the coulda woulda shouldas, unknown short-lived shows like Clone High, and shows that did not get their full time in the sun like Samurai Jack and Young Justice. Today's video is on a show of a similar status. Mission Hill was a brief animated program that originally aired on the WB and then later on Adult Swim, and it is certainly forgotten. I didn't know it even existed until but a little while ago, but I'm sure glad I do now. What I enjoy about adult cartoons is their ability to deviate from the more mundane plots and circumstances that children's animated TV shows can wallow in. Now, don't crucify me. I love children's animation. However, it can have restrictions. Not even necessarily in what can and can't be pushed on the screen. Right, Avatar? Oh god, I'm gonna review you so hard. Excuse me. Rather, the main characters, stories, and settings children's shows never seem to dive into. What I don't like is how adult shows are often so repetitive, gruff, and dirty. Now, I love smut as much as the next fellow, but some adult shows have lost creativity, and thus have dove into the world of one-upping their own standards for politically incorrect humor. That is sometimes too much, but more atrocious, well, it's boring me. I want balance. I want a well-animated, funny, calmer, fairly clean show that I could watch with my parents. But it also reminds me it's not directed towards children. And if you want what I want, you're gonna want Mission Hill. The initial premise of the show is two parents, Mr. and Mrs. French, have to move to Wyoming from Massachusetts for the husband's work transfer, and then, rather than tag along, their youngest son, a senior in high school, Kevin, decides to stay in-state and live in Mission Hill, which is in Boston, with the oldest son, Andy, who is a hip lazy boy who lives with his two friends, Jim and Posey. The family's crazy dog, Stogie, also comes with Kevin to Mission Hill. From there, we follow Andy and Kevin through their silly, paralleling, and often overlapping adventures in Mission Hill. Andy is more of the main character, but they both share the screen time, along with a great ensemble cast. Now let's dive right into that cast. Again, we have Andy and Kevin French. Andy is a lax goofball and struggling cartoonist, trying to be cool and often failing, thanks to Kevin and his poor decisions. Andy's poor decisions. Yet he slowly learns how to be a better, well-rounded adult, take care of Kevin, and be a better brother. Kevin, played by Scott Menville, is the classic nerd, more concerned with his SATs and computer video games than about anything else Mission Hill has to offer him. He also likes to be neat, tidy, and often calls his parents. Yet he very quickly starts to cut loose and learn to live in the community and for himself. Stogie is stupid and possibly a drunk. Jim, played by comedian Brian Posehn, is Andy's best friend. Bosom chums. Andy's best friend, and the resident oddball. Lanky, relaxed, almost Kramer-like. But he's also very mature and a possible genius. Posey is a yogi, the earthy, crunchy hippie type, with a soft voice and an even softer heart. Plus, she was never a sexual device in the show, or even, in a romantic love triangle, which I just applaud. Wally and Gus are the funny, elderly, arguing, proud gay couple in the building that run the diner in the neighborhood. Gus is a stubborn, tough guy, and Wally, voiced by the ever-talented Tom Kenny, is a sweet Mr. Rogers kind of fellow, and they're madly in love. We've also got the artistic power couple of Carlos and Tina and their baby, who is very... well, he's wild, alright. Or she, I honestly forgot. Gwen is Andy's on-and-off, again, lady friend, who is subdued, and a perfect match for him. Kevin has a couple of nerdy friends, and that's just about everyone who is important to the show. And Tom Kenny and Scott Menville voice a lot of the side characters. I won't tell you what is going to happen in these solitary 13 episodes and one animatic. 18 episodes were actually planned though. But things do change and are connected, and that's very important. In a similar way, the characters change as do the relationships to each other. Not drastically, but we see some significant moments in these few episodes. I personally like it when Andy gets his new job in episode 7, and the last 2 episodes, 12 and 13. The 12th, for Andy and Kevin's moment at the end and the honest dialogue about growing up, and the soul-wrenching, Ed Wood-like story of episode 13 with Wally, Gus, and Kevin. You'll see. Let me add something unique to my love for this show. When I watch it, I just see me and my oldest brother. Often I would hang out with him in his apartment, in his adult world, and I see that relationship as us. It's very real to me. The animation is so cool and unique. The character designs have this weird gut thing going on, and it has this sort of squiggly line look, but it's clear. It flows, and it's quaint. I want to talk about the backgrounds and colors more, though. It has a sort of blocky look with overlapping shapes with different colors and lines that don't match the outlines, like watercolors, similar to Jackie Chan Adventures, if you ever saw that, but kind of met with some sort of like wet tissue paper mache look. Oh god, it's cool. And hard to explain, just look. And the colors, holy crap, the coloring. It's so superb and odd, but not off-putting. I can't get enough. Different lightings completely change all the colors, and it's so vibrant and full. It fills everything. God, look at it. The music is nice. You'll hear ska or smooth jazz or some strings that keep the train moving, if you will. But the show uses silence really well. Oh, and here's the theme, which is also Italian Leather Sofa by Cake.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The show is funny. It can be a slower, subtler comedy, certainly smarter, but it has a great balance of funny yet practical, and it keeps your attention. And that's the show incarnate, and why this review is so short. It's just a delight, a gem. After the second episode, one of my favorites actually, if you don't want to finish the show, well then it's just not for you. And that's fine. But I think most people would grow to love Mission Hill, or at least appreciate it. Also, most of the show is on YouTube, so easy peasy, right? But go to Wikipedia for the correct order, because you might get confused, and watch the animatic at the end. It's not just a storyboard, it's like another episode. But again, it's a gem. And it is something special that was tossed around, never given a chance, and never loved, until it was canceled and received a cult status. And it was an adult show, really just a show, with so much more brains, style, and class than so many others. I guess I'll just say to you all, look out for the Mission Hills. Watch them while they're here and while you can. Because gems, this is corny, but gems deserve to shine in the sun. Yeah. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Or don't. There's always next time. Thanks for watching.